She was folding Gucci sweaters for minimum wage. He was the most famous athlete on the planet, worth over $1 billion. And somehow, she ended up in his bed, in his mansion, and on his Netflix show. But here's what nobody talks about. 8 years, 2 kids together, a Netflix series, a $10 million home, and his mother, reportedly, still hasn't accepted her. Today, we will uncover the story of Georgina Rodríguez, the girl from a small Spanish border town who went from hanging up designer clothes for other people to owning them. But this isn't just a Cinderella story, because in this fairy tale, the prince's mother never approved the match, and the prince himself has never put a ring on her finger. 8 years in, 5 children between them, and still, no wedding, no title, no official seal of approval from the family that built him. So who exactly is Georgina Rodríguez? Where did she come from? How did she get here? And what has it actually cost her to stay? Let's uncover the truth, only on Empire Elegance. To understand Georgina Rodríguez, we should understand where she came from, because where she came from is the complete opposite of where she ended up. Born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, in January 1994, Georgina spent most of her formative years in Jaca, a small ancient town in the Aragonese Pyrenees in northern Spain. If you've never heard of Jaca, that's kind of the point. It's beautiful, it's quiet, it's medieval. And it is not, by any stretch of the imagination, a launchpad for international superstardom. Her father, Jorge Rodríguez, spent time in prison for drug-related offenses, a reality that shaped her childhood in ways she has acknowledged but never fully unpacked in public. Her mother held the household together. There wasn't excess, there wasn't privilege, there was just getting through. As a teenager, Georgina showed a gift for dance. She trained seriously, ballet, contemporary, and for a while, that looked like her path out. Dance requires discipline. It requires the ability to perform under pressure, to hold yourself with poise, even when everything inside you is screaming. Skills, as it turns out, that would serve her well in a completely different arena. But dance didn't become her career. Instead, in her late teens, she made a move that a lot of ambitious young people from small towns make. She left. She relocated to London. She worked as an au pair, caring for other people's children, living in other people's homes, navigating a foreign city in a foreign language. It is unglamorous work. It is invisible work. But it exposed her to a world beyond Jaca. She improved her English. She learned how to carry herself in unfamiliar environments. She watched how people with money moved through the world. And then she came back to Spain. And she needed a job. By her early 20s, Georgina Rodríguez was working the floor of a Gucci store in Madrid. Think about that image for a second. A beautiful, poised, ambitious young woman, carefully folding cashmere, arranging handbags that cost more than her monthly salary, smiling at women who bought without looking at the price tag. She was invisible in the way that service workers are always invisible to the people they serve. That's where most stories like hers end. The girl stays behind the counter. The distance between her world and the world on the other side of the glass stays exactly as wide as it always was. But this one was just getting started. The year is 2016. Cristiano Ronaldo is at the absolute zenith of his powers. Real Madrid, back-to-back Champions League titles. Bala attends a Gucci event in Madrid. She is working it. The exact details of that first meeting have always been kept deliberately vague. Both Georgina and Cristiano have told versions that are just specific enough to feel intimate and just vague enough to protect the magic of it. What we know is this: something connected. And it connected fast. Within weeks, Georgina was photographed leaving Cristiano's apartment in Madrid. The tabloids erupted. The internet went into meltdown. Every gossip outlet in Europe ran the same question in the same breathless font. Who is she? And the world's first instinct, as it almost always is, was to dismiss her. Just another WAG, another beautiful woman orbiting a famous man. A phase, a distraction, something that would burn bright for a few months and then quietly disappear. Except she didn't disappear, she moved in. She became embedded in his life. She became permanent. And as the months turned into years, the people who had written her off started to realize they had fundamentally misread the situation. This was not a phase. This was a partnership. By 2017, Georgina was pregnant with their daughter, Alana Martina, born in November of that year. By 2018, the family expanded further when surrogate twins, Ava and Mateo, were welcomed. The household was growing. The relationship was deepening. And Georgina was doing something that no one who dismissed her had expected. She was building. Let's talk about what Georgina Rodríguez's life actually looks like now. Because it is, by any objective measure, staggering. The couple's primary home is in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, following Cristiano's landmark move to Al Nassr in January 2023. A deal reported to be worth over $200 million per year. Their residence is a sprawling private compound reportedly valued at around $10 million, staffed, secured, and outfitted to the standard you'd expect for the world's most recognizable footballer. But living in Riyadh as a Western woman is not a simple adjustment. Saudi Arabia operates under social and legal frameworks that are profoundly different from anything Georgina knew in Spain or Portugal. For a woman who built her public identity on fashion, on skin, on glamour, it required recalibration. She has been notably measured about it publicly, never criticizing, always adapting. Whether that's diplomacy or genuine contentment, only she knows. Her wardrobe remains jaw-dropping. Valentino gowns, Versace, Chanel, Dolce & Gabbana. The same labels she once folded and carefully tissue-wrapped for strangers are now pulled from her own wardrobe for red carpets, for magazine covers, for front rows at Fashion Week. The symbolism is almost too perfect to be real. She has her own management team, her own commercial partnerships, her own public identity that exists entirely separately from Ronaldo's. And then there's the Netflix show. I Am Georgina premiered in January 2022 and became one of the most watched Spanish-language titles on the platform. It was renewed for a second season. In the show, Georgina gives viewers access to the interior of her life. The luxury, yes, but also the loneliness, the displacement, the complexity of raising a blended family across multiple countries and cultures. She talks about her father. She talks about her childhood. She talks about what it felt like to go from nothing to everything almost overnight, and how disorienting that is, even when the everything is genuinely wonderful. She has over 60 million Instagram followers, more than most A-list actresses, more than most chart-topping musicians. She is not an extension of Cristiano Ronaldo's brand. She is her own brand, and she built it herself. And yet, the question that never quite disappears: has she ever truly been accepted? Dolores Aveiro is not a peripheral figure in Cristiano Ronaldo's story. She is in many ways the reason the story exists at all. A former cook from Madeira, Portugal, Dolores raised Cristiano largely alone after his father struggled with chronic alcoholism and died in 2005, before seeing his son reach the peak of his career. She has spoken in interviews about the desperate financial circumstances of Cristiano's childhood: the small house, the shared rooms, the sacrifices that felt endless. She once revealed she had considered terminating her pregnancy with Cristiano because she felt she could not afford another child. She didn't, and her son became the most famous footballer in history. That bond, between a mother who sacrificed everything and a son who became everything, is not something that bends easily to accommodate a newcomer, especially one who arrived after all the suffering was done, after the hardship had already been converted into glory. Multiple credible Portuguese and Spanish media outlets have, over the years, reported a persistent chill between Dolores and Georgina. The specific claims vary: that Dolores found Georgina too ambitious, too focused on her own image, too eager to step into a spotlight that Dolores felt belonged to the family that built it; that she never saw Georgina as a true partner for her son, but as someone who had benefited from proximity to greatness without having earned it. Neither Dolores nor Cristiano has confirmed any of this on the record, and Georgina has been careful, almost excessively careful, never to say anything publicly that could be read as a complaint. In I Am Georgina, she navigates the subject with the precision of someone who is very aware of what she can and cannot say. But look at the photographs over 8 years. Track who appears in which frame. Notice the birthdays, the celebrations, the holidays posted to Instagram, and notice how rarely the two women are pictured together. In an age where everything is documented, where every celebration ends up online, that absence is its own kind of statement. 8 years, 5 children in that household, a Netflix show, and the question is still open. There is one chapter of this story that belongs to an entirely different register, one that has nothing to do with celebrity or acceptance or fashion or status. In April 2022, Cristiano and Georgina announced they were expecting twins, a boy and a girl. And then, during childbirth, their son, Angel, did not survive. Cristiano posted the announcement himself. Both he and Georgina signed it. The words were simple and completely devastating. They said it was the greatest pain they had ever felt. They asked for privacy. They said they were grateful that their daughter, Bella Esmeralda, had survived and was healthy. The loss of Angel, a baby born and gone within the same fragile window of hours, was the kind of grief that reframes everything. Every rumor about Dolores, every question about wedding rings, every tabloid headline about her wardrobe or her Instagram following. None of it mattered in that moment. What people saw in Georgina afterward, in the documentary footage, in her public appearances, in the way she has continued to speak about Angel by name, was a woman processing unimaginable loss in full public view, with dignity, without performance. She didn't monetize the grief. She didn't turn it into content. She simply carried it, visibly, and kept moving. And that, more than any red carpet appearance, any Netflix deal, any Instagram milestone, revealed who Georgina Rodríguez actually is. The world gave Georgina Rodríguez a very specific narrative. Shop girl gets lucky, falls into a billionaire's orbit, lives happily ever after, and she has spent 8 years quietly, persistently, refusing to stay inside it. She built a career, she built a brand, she raised a family across multiple countries in multiple languages. She survived the most devastating loss a parent can experience. She navigated the impossible politics of being the partner of the world's most scrutinized athlete. And she did all of it without the one thing that might have made it easier: the unconditional blessing of the family she married into. Whether Ronaldo's mom ever fully accepts her, we may genuinely never know. Whether Cristiano ever puts a ring on her finger, that chapter hasn't been written yet. But here is what we do know. Georgina Rodríguez walked into a Gucci store in Madrid as someone the world would never have noticed. She walked out of that chapter of her life as someone the world cannot stop watching. That is not luck. That is not proximity. That is a woman who understood exactly what she was doing and did it anyway. If you found this story powerful, please like and subscribe to Empire Elegance and hit the notification bell for more stories about the lives and choices of the world's most influential figures. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.